So we are recording at this moment. Try not to tell your deepest, darkest secrets right now.
Yeah, well, you're going to mute us, aren't you?
Oh, okay, I can do that too.
It helps if the connection is not too good.
All right, I'm muting you all. Okay, you're all muted. So if you have anything to say, it's about sign language right now. Okay, so then putting you on my big screen while you guys get on the floor on your backs with a block next to you, please, and a strap. Oh, I gotta turn this on. There we go. Okay, there you are. Nice and big on my screen. All right. Okay, so you have a block next to you. Make sure that it's reachable. I see some of you might have your block a little too far away. So working with the knees bent, please. So the knees bent and feeling your back body on the floor. So if your chin is tipped up, so Nancy Ewert, I'm seeing that your chin is tipped up a little bit. If you notice that your chin is just a little bit higher than your forehead, and you could put one hand on each to get an idea of what that is, where that is, then you need to put a little blanket underneath your head or something that you have that's firm, not squishy. And just allow your spine to relax on the floor. So part of the practice of yoga, in fact, the whole entire practice of yoga is based on being aware. And so it's easy to do other types of exercises and just be thinking about something else, to not even be paying attention to your body. But the whole practice of hatha yoga is about being really aware of your body. So awareness, of course, involves the mind. And then there's the breath that helps to bridge the mind and the body. So we're going to work with all three of those right now, starting with the body. So allow your body to relax onto the floor, keeping your knees upright. So the knees still point straight up towards the ceiling. There's a little effort in keeping them there. But from the spine, the base of the spine, at the back of the pelvis, and then all the way through the lower back, upper back, between the shoulder blades. And even though the back of your neck isn't touching the floor, it might be touching a prop, you want to feel that area lengthening and almost as if it's dropping a little bit towards the floor, relaxing down towards the floor, softness in the neck and the throat, and then all the way up into the head. So again, if your chin is tipped up a little bit, then you're going to have a little bit of a compression in the neck area. So you may even want to see if you can lengthen the back of the neck by bringing the chin down a little bit, but not tucking it too much or jamming it towards your chest. So there's a balance there. Good, that looks a lot better. And then from there, the shoulder blades on either side of the spine, relaxing the shoulder blades so they feel flat on the floor. And then feel a broadness across the back waist. So on either side of the spine and the lower back. So as you exhale, see if you can relax that area, especially the lower back, onto the floor with the knees bent. It should be very close to the floor or touching the floor. So broadness happening. A spreading with every exhalation. And then feel the buttock area, the sacral, back pelvic area also being supported by the floor. and balanced. So this is a place where in the pelvis, if something is off, that it can refer up the spine. It's a very important place to pay attention to balance. So right now, after you've just relaxed a little bit and tuned into your body and your spine, notice if one side of your back pelvis is a little more weighted, your left or your right side, and then adjust as needed. So one way to adjust is to press the feet into the floor and just lift your pelvis a teeny bit and shift it to whatever side you need to get it to be even. That's really important. We all have distortions in our pelvic region. So the floor is your guru right now, and it's showing you evenness one way or the other. Okay, good. All right, and so then there's the breath. And so watch the breath moving in and out of your body through the nose. The nose is the way to breathe all the time. It filters and warms the air as it enters your body. It keeps you safe from viruses and other germs and dust, little toxic particles that will filter through the nose. So always breathe through your nose. And then one of the other ways to help filter and protect your body with your breath is to soften the breath. So not big gulps of air, but a soft and quiet breath. So pay attention to the edges of the nostrils and how the breath is moving in and out, how the air is moving in and out. So if it's moving very quickly and very strongly, see if you can slow it down a little bit and lighten it up. And it might even feel like, if you're used to breathing this way, that you're not getting enough air, but you are. You are getting enough air if you just relax into a quieter, softer, slower way of breathing. So this also helps the mind, keeping the mind in tune with the breath. And then another little trick to slow down the breath is to tune into especially your exhalation. So let's pay attention to what the body's doing as you exhale by taking your hands on your body. So try not to disturb your shoulders too much. They're nice and relaxed right now. So just place one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. And it doesn't need to be centered. You can have your elbows still resting on the floor. And so the main idea here also to help keep you healthy is to keep you in your parasympathetic nervous system. So we have the sympathetic, which is fight or flight, where you're kicked into protection, your body wanting to protect yourself. And then there's parasympathetic, where you're relaxed. So we want more of the relaxed state of probably about 90% of the time of your life. Unfortunately, because of stressors in life, we can get involved in them. We can allow ourselves to get whirled up into the stressors of life that are always there and be in the sympathetic state more often, which is very difficult on our body and decreases immunity. And actually ends up decreasing our ability to defend ourselves. So we're talking about being healthier, stronger, and more resilient by breathing lower in the body. So where your low hand is. So sympathetic breathing, sympathetic nervous breathing is more characterized by breathing in the chest. So if you feel a lot of movement in the chest, see if you can bring it a little lower into the low ribs. So if your hand is on your low belly, see if you can bring it up a little higher onto the low ribs, the lowest ribs. So that's where your diaphragm is. And so you want to feel more of the movement in your breathing muscle. Your diaphragm is your breathing muscle, not your rib cages, even though they move. Your diaphragm is the main breathing muscle. And you need to exercise it. And coincidentally, it's also one of your main core muscles, your diaphragm. It's So it's good to get in tune with that. So your one hand on the chest should be very quiet. It will move, but not too much. Air is passing through there. It's good. But most of the movement of your breath is in the lower hand, and this doesn't mean you're breathing more. Remember, you're keeping your breath nice and light and soft through the nose. And so the diaphragm goes all the way around the lower ribs. So where your hand is now is just the front of the diaphragm. Think about like a trampoline shape. And it follows the edges of the lowest ribs all the way around to your lower back, which helps to support your lower back if you have a toned diaphragm muscle. So let's get into toning this diaphragm. So now you're going to take the upper hand that's on your chest and put it on your low belly. So you have one hand above your belly button, keep that one there, and one hand below your belly button. So the breath is really integral in your core exercises. And so as you exhale, you'll notice that your hands go down, your lower back maybe comes a little closer to the floor. And we're going to emphasize that a little bit as we move further into this practice. So you're just going to take a normal inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to squeeze a little bit and all the way around, like a little corset is getting cinched up around your waist, including your lower ribs. So your lower ribs will narrow in a little bit as you exhale, your belly will go down, and your lower back will contact the floor or get closer to the floor a little bit more. Those are the sensations there. So as you exhale, that's all you're doing. You're being more active about using your abdominal muscles, your diaphragm muscles as you exhale. Good. I can see most of you. I can see most of your action happening. It looks good. You want a feeling of there's a little bit of a scooping feeling. No matter what shape you are, there's still a scooping feeling from the pubic bone to the navel, and then from the navel to the sternum, right where your hands are in the front. So you want to feel your hands actively going down, a little bit of a tautness in the muscles there, even below any padding you might have. You can still feel that there's a little bit of a engagement happening. Beautiful. So right now you are toning your diaphragm muscle and you are toning your deepest abdominal muscles. Okay, great. Now let's put the floor on your core by taking your block, which is close by, and slipping it between your thighs. So in the fleshiest part there below the knees, perfect. You'll have to change where your feet are on the floor to accommodate the narrowness of the block. Now, all of us here are women, so you want to think about a Kegel action when you're exhaling to add to the narrowing of the rib cages and the scooping of the abdomen and the pressing of the lower back a little bit more on the floor. That's all happening still as you exhale, normal inhales. And then on your floor of the core, there's just a gentle squeeze of the block, and you want to feel as if you're drawing the block towards your perineum, towards your pelvic floor. So one thing that happens in this is the buttock muscles try to do the work, okay, because they're easier to connect with than the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor is a little obscure. So try to keep the buttock muscles relaxed. And feel that drawing in and up from the base of the pelvis, in and up from an internal place. And the block is just there to help access those muscles that are connected to your pelvic floor. And see if you can get everybody on board. It's like an orchestra. It's like everybody has to play their part. And if the clarinets are too soft, then they're going to get drowned out by the trumpets. So some muscles, what I'm saying, some muscles will be louder and stronger and want to take over and be the strongest voice. but we still need to hear everybody on this, in this music of playing your core on your exhalation. Okay? All right. Does everybody seem to have the idea of having everything on board? This isn't the first time we've done it. So, okay. So now let's take it into action a little bit. Take your arms down alongside your body and still keeping a little grip on that block. As you exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Squeeze the block and draw the knees in towards the chest on an exhale, and feel that little scooping feeling in the belly. Yes? Good. Okay. Now, I've noticed some of you, even on this video format, that there's a little tension in the neck and the shoulders. So see if you can relax that a little bit. And then just take the knees away from your chest, just like 2 or 3 inches. And then exhale the knees back as far as you can on the exhale. So just 2 or 3 inches away from the chest. Mary, it looks like you're going too far. Just 2 or 3 inches. Just very small movement, please, not too much. Because you're really trying to access the core muscles. If you go too far, you're going to lose it. I want you to stay in touch. On the exhale is the drawing in and up. On the inhale, keep that engagement and take the knees away 2 or 3 inches. If your lower back comes off the floor, you've gone too far. Laura, watch it. You're going really far. See if you can just keep a very small range of motion and stay in touch with those core muscles. Laura, can you bring your knees in towards your chest more? Draw your knees all the way in towards your chest as much as you can. And then move your knees back and forth. Okay, good. Now go ahead and bring that block, feet down to the floor, take the block out. And it should have felt maybe a little hard to do. Is that right? Thumbs up or down? Like if it was hard to do, thumbs up. If it was easy, thumbs down. It's kind of a weird thing, but okay. Yeah, so it generally across the board here, it was difficult to do. So you knew you were working your core. Good. All right, so let's just work with the arms a little bit. Let that area rest a little. And go ahead and still have your gaze up towards the ceiling. And you're gonna re-engage the feet on the floor at hip width. So you'll have to adjust, you just had a block there, so you're stable. And then take your right arm and reach it up on the inhale, up and alongside your ear or however far you can go. Your backhand is gonna maybe come to the floor or close to the floor. And then as you exhale, the arm comes down, back down alongside your body. Okay, and then the left arm, inhaling, left arm comes up as far as back as you can bring it within your shoulder range, and then exhale, bring that arm back down. Now this time when you bring your right arm up on an inhalation, watch what your lower back does. Inhale, take your right arm up. What does your lower back tend to want to do? And your rib cages, and then exhale back down again. And now watch that same thing on the left side. As you inhale, take that left arm up. What does your middle body want to do when you take the arm up in relation to the floor? And then exhale it back down. Okay, let's pause here for a moment. Both left and right arms are down alongside your body. Okay, so the tendency, just because I don't have a lot of interaction with you guys, is to have the lower back and the rib cages pop away from the floor. So you're going to use that same feeling when you exhaled and drew your lower back down towards the floor, scooping your navel down, and then keep it there, glue it to the floor, and on an inhale, take your arm up. Okay, so let's try that. On an exhale, draw your navel down towards the floor, keep your lower back glued to the floor, and then on your inhale, take your right arm up. Keep your lower back on the floor. Don't let your ribs pop away. Maybe your arm doesn't go all the way up. Exhale back down again. So if you bring your arm all the way up and your ribs pop off the floor, don't go as far with your arm. Left arm, inhaling, bringing that arm up, only as far as you can go without the popping off the floor. Good. Exhale, bring that arm down and re-engage the navel down towards the floor. Inhale the right arm up. And now we're going to turn the head away from the arm as it comes down. So as you exhale, the arm comes down and the head rotates to the left. Nice, good. And then the left arm comes up and the head centers towards the ceiling. And then exhale and the arm comes down and your head rotates to the right. And then again, keeping that lower back on the floor, inhale and reach up and the head centers. And then exhale down, the head rolls to the left. Keep your lower back on the floor, scooping at the lower belly. And now the left arm last time, inhale coming up and the head centers. And then exhale the arm down and the head rolls to the right. Nice. Okay. And now just bring the head back to center once both arms are down and bring your right knee in towards the chest. Actually, bring both knees in towards the chest. Strap. I had you have a strap close by, right? So both knees are in towards the chest, but you're going to take a strap around the back of your right thigh, please. Okay. Shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. Both knees tucked in towards the chest, except for maybe Debbie. Debbie, if you want to take your left foot down, that's fine. If you have lower back tenderness, take your left foot down. Inhale, take your right leg up. Stretch up through that heel, open the back leg, push your thigh into the strap. Exhale and bring that leg back down again. Good. Inhale and stretch that leg up. And exhale it back down. Good. Okay. Now inhale and take that leg up and keep it there. Leg is stretched up. Now you're going to need to accommodate the strap. So you might need to use your arms in a different way here. Some people have your strap looped around your wrist because you're going to take that leg and bring it as you, first you're going to exhale the lower back towards the floor. Then you're going to inhale up through that back leg. And as you exhale, let the leg come down a little bit, just a few inches. So you're like a drawbridge. Keep the left knee tucked in. Good. And then inhale that leg back up again. Good. And exhale, tuck it, heel to buttocks. Heel to buttocks. Bring it back in again. Give it a break. Okay. Now, if the strap is there for support. If the strap feels cumbersome when you do your drawbridge leg, you can take it out right now. And it's actually it's more challenging. If you want more of a challenge, you've just tried it with the strap, you can take the strap away. Okay, so your choice. Now, both knees are tucked in. Inhale, take your right leg up. Exhale, draw your navel down towards the floor. Keep it there. Inhale, reach the leg up. And as you exhale, drawbridge the leg down as long as you can to keep that lower back on the floor. So as soon as that you lose your connection, keep your left knee tucked in. And then inhale, swing that leg back up again. And exhale, fold it down. Bend the knee. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretch your right leg up. Stay here with the leg straight up and exhale, draw your navel towards the floor. Scoop it down, shoulders relaxed. Exhale now and take that leg down. Drawbridge style, reaching through the heel, just as far as you can comfortably go. Left knee's tucked in. And then inhale, swing it back up again. And then tuck the knee, heel down, bending the knee. Okay, good. And let's just let the feet come to the floor and just relax for a second. Okay, so we just worked the right side. So you are asymmetrical. And so you might notice the right is more dominant. It could be tighter and weaker. It could be stronger. Okay, so we're going to compare with the left side. So let's take the strap, if you're using it, over to the left side. So behind the thigh, behind the back thigh. Okay, and then we tuck both knees in. And the first part of this is to just stretch the left leg. On the inhale, take that leg up, left leg up, right knee stays tucked in, and exhale, take it back down again. So we're just getting the leg to stretch out a little bit, a couple times, 2 more times. Inhale, stretch the leg up, shoulders relaxed, throat relaxed, exhale, tuck it in again. And then again, inhale, take that leg up and keep it there. That's your 3rd time. And then exhale here, drawing the navel down towards the floor. Inhale up the back of the leg again, reaching up through the heel. And now on your exhale, draw a bridge down only a few inches. You want to stay, lower back stays on the floor. Don't let that lower back come away from the floor. And on an inhale, swing that leg back upright again. And then bend the knee, heel comes down. So just a moment to relax the leg before we do again. And then if you are using a strap, this is your option to take it off, a little more challenging. Arms stay down alongside your body. Okay, arms stay down alongside your body, shoulders, neck, relax, throat, relax, breathe through the nose. Inhale, take your left leg up. Stay in that position for your exhale to glue your navel down towards the floor. Inhale again up the back leg. Exhale and draw bridge down. It doesn't have to be very far, but you're paying attention. When do you start losing control of that leg? Because your lower back starts to pop up. And then inhale, swing it up with control. Exhale, bend the knee. Okay, we're going to do 1 more time. So keep both knees bent in. Shoulders relaxed. Here's your moment. Make sure your shoulders and your mouth, your jaw, your eyes, everything is relaxed there. Okay, 1 last time on that left leg. Inhale, reach it up. Stretch up through that left leg, up through the heel, open the toes. Exhale, gluing your lower back to the floor. Inhale, reach up through that back leg, and on your exhale, draw, bridge the leg down. Only a couple inches. You don't want to lose control. Stay in control. Inhale, bring your leg back up again, and exhale, bend it, and bring the feet to the floor. Take the strap out if you're using it. Woo! Okay. Core, hello. All right, so go ahead and just do a little bit of undulation in the shoulders. I did notice even in this, you know, I'm learning how to notice just doing a little bit of undulation through the shoulders, almost like a wave is going from your left fingers through that arm, through the center of your chest, down the other arm to the other fingers. So you're just allowing that area. You can move the neck a little bit and roll the head back and forth, whatever feels good to just release tension in your shoulders, your neck, and just let that go. Okay, good. All right, so one very important 4th part of your core. So we have the diaphragm, we have the abdominal muscles where you were scooping, the pelvic floor where you were squeezing the block, and now we need to do the lower back of the spine. So go ahead and just sit up for a moment, roll over and just sit up for a moment before we shift positions, because I want to show you. Chair's probably in the way. So you're going to be on your belly. Okay, and so I'm resting my forehead on the floor, but if that's uncomfortable for you, you can take a blanket on your forehead so you have a little room for your nose. I'm just lifting my head a little bit so you can hear me better. But your head will be resting, and then your arms are at this W shape on either side on the floor for support. Tops of the feet are on the floor. So as you exhale now, you want to feel that the lower back is still trying to press like here towards my hand, like where the floor was before. So as you exhale, your belly actually feels like it's moving away from the floor. Then on an inhale, you're going to lift your head and chest in one leg. And then exhale down. And then the other leg on the next inhale. And when you exhale, you want to move the belly away from the floor, engaging that core like you just were. Okay, then to come out of this, once we do that a few times, those of you who are able to, you're going to exhale and draw the navel back, walk the knees in, and do a little child's pose. You might want a blanket for your head. Those of you who do have trouble with your knees, and that's a hard position to be in, you're just going to roll over to the side and tuck the knees in because we want to stretch the lower back after contracting it. Okay, so cobra on your bellies. And again, if you want a little blanket on your forehead, go ahead and get that blanket up. And then just as you're lying there, start to get in tune with how you engage the navel area. So arms are at a W shape on either side. So the hands are farther out than the elbows, like a W, not straight up. The elbows are pulled down in line with your mid-ribs, but not squeezed into your side. Have some broadness across the chest. Good. Okay. Now, before we start moving into cobra with the legs and the chest, see if you can exhale and draw the navel away from the floor now. So you feel like there's a little strength happening in the lower back. So the lower back kind of pushes up towards the ceiling. Okay, same action you were doing before, we're just in a different position. So then, excuse me, tops of the feet and the front thighs are part of your support. So as you exhale, you're going to make sure they're on the floor, front of the pelvis. And then as you inhale, lift the chest in your right leg, but not your right hip. Good. Exhale back down again. All right, all of you look like really wonderful in your neck. You want to keep your chin tucked a little bit so that you don't overdo that lift. Okay, so on the next inhale, go ahead and lift the left leg and the head and the chest. Okay, but watch the hip, Laura. Keep that hip rolled down to the floor. Good. Exhale, come on down again. All right, and then just do that 3 more times on each side. And remember, in your own rhythm of breath, when you exhale and come back down again, you're pulling the navel away from the floor. Right? Engage there. So the buttocks will, when you lift the leg, firm up a little bit. That's perfect. Exhaling down, inhaling up. So making sure the hips stay steady. So if you notice that your pelvis is wobbling back and forth, you're lifting your leg too high. And you need to accommodate that by just doing a little less movement of the leg. Keep the leg straight when you lift it. Good. So once you've finished your 3 times, or actually a total of 4 times on each side, then just rest for a moment and then either push yourself back into child's pose or roll over and tuck your knees in. Whatever works best for you and your body. We just want to make sure that you get a little stretch of your lower back before we continue. So once you're in that position, you can just even move around a little bit. Even if you're in a child's pose position, you can sort of wiggle around a little bit. Undulation is really good for all bodies, but especially aging bodies. We're all aging, but you know, more advanced in the process, because it hydrates the tissues. So as we grow older, we get drier. And we're actually in a very dry season right now as well. And so movement like this, gentle movement that feels good, make sure it feels good, is very hydrating to your tissues and keeps them gliding over one another, which is what we want. We don't want it to be sticky feeling. Okay, then if you're in child's pose, use your hands to push yourselves up. And if you're on your back, just roll over and come up. Just come up to sitting for a moment. However you want to sit, I just want to see your beautiful faces. So are you guys getting a little bit of an idea of the core work on the floor? Okay, because that's really important, because we're going to take it into the standing series. And you will again need your block with you, so and then a chair. So, and you might need to adjust your screen as we come up to standing. So finding your block and your chair and maybe adjusting your screen as we come up to standing. You're going to have the chair. Let's see, to start with, you're going to have your chair back facing you. Okay, and I'm going to just do this so that that you can see me better. And then a block. Let's take the block between the thighs. Kind of a familiar position. And hopefully by now you know that it's not just a weird thing that we teach in yoga, but that it actually has a function to help you connect with your core. And I'm just going to turn towards you, but you're facing your chair. My chair's on my side because I don't want my body to be obscured by it as I teach. Okay, so first go with the feet, because we are going to be doing a little bit of balancing here. So you want to have a sense of stability across the feet, base of the big toes over to the base of the pinky toes. So if you look at your shoes, shoes are very telling how you distribute your weight. So some of us, the inside of the shoe is more worn, or the outside, or maybe in the heel one way or the other, or towards the toes. So you could examine your shoes if you haven't already and just notice how you distribute your weight. And so if you have that vision in your head of how you wear in your shoes, then right now see if you can feel that tendency on the floor and then balance it. So if you tend to roll into your pinky toe side, see if you can bring a little bit more balance towards the big toe side of your foot. If you tend to lean forward into the toes, see if you can pull back and feel evenness into the heels. More of the weight should be in the heels. Lift your toes just to make sure. Lift and spread your toes. Lift and spread your toes. I can't see everybody's toes, but see if you can reach those toes away from each other as far as you can. So pinky toes towards the outside, big toes towards each other, and all the toes in between are stretching. Stretch your toes. Good. And then go ahead, very cute, Edie. Go ahead and stretch the toes down, back down, and as if they're just longer on the mat, like big swim fins out in front of you. Okay, you okay, Mary? Yes, okay. Breathe through the nose. Quiet breathing through the nose. Notice, are you leaning forward now? I'm actually seeing some postures where the pelvis looks a little forward of the ankles. So you want the outer ankles in line with the outer hips, in line with the shoulders, in line with the ears, okay? As best you can. Good. Now, let's go ahead and with this balance, it's gonna get a little changed up now as we inhale, and now exhale and bend the knees slightly. So it doesn't need to be a lot. If you have a knee thing, you don't need to go far. Good. And now take your hands on those two places, above the navel and below the navel. And then as you exhale, see if you can get that corset feeling. Exhale, squeeze like we were on the floor, squeeze the block gently, and then draw the navel back. And you feel like a little drawing up from the pubic bone to the navel. Stay in your little bent knee position. And then as you inhale again, you feel your belly pooching out a little bit. That's fine, perfect. And then as you exhale, see if you can get that little scooping, a feeling of the lower back drawing backwards a little bit. Make sure you're not bringing tension into the shoulders. And then press through the feet, inhale and come up. Good. Now let's see if we can do that again and we'll do something with the arms, but you have a feeling now of what's happening here. The one thing that I'm noticing in some of you is that when you're going down like this, you're trying to keep your shoulders in line with your hips, like I talked about in mountain pose. But this is not mountain pose, and your shoulders actually need to be a little forward of the hips so that you can get that full engagement of the lower back. If your shoulders are trying to pull back in line with the hips, then you lose your ability to engage the core. Okay, just saying. So let's go ahead again and I'm just going to look at posture. I have some great views of your posture here. So inhale, and yes, your shoulders are now in line with your outer hips. But as you exhale, bend the knees a little bit, and now the shoulders are a little forward of the hips so that you can actually feel the lower back long. And just also make sure that you're not drooping the shoulders as you do this. Keep the shoulders open. Inhale in this position. Let's just do one more time. See if you can get that squeeze of the block and the scooping action in the belly, the little corset squeeze around the middle. And then again, take a breath with the knees bent, an inhale, and then as you exhale, see if you can feel as if you're drawing the block up towards your pelvic floor. Can you feel that? Good. And then press through the feet and come up to standing. Okay, we're still holding on to that block. And I am going to put the chair in front of me. All right, so arm stuff. So now you're just in your mountain pose. Inhale and bring the arms up. Exhale and pull the arms down and come into that little bend of the knees. Okay, we'll do this again if you're not getting everything this time. Good. Now, in this position, inhale and reach the arms out so your W widens. And then as you exhale, squeeze the block up. You're still in that little squatty position and pull the elbows in. There's that corset cinching up. Inhale and bring the arms up again, pressing the feet into the floor. And then exhale, swing the arms down. Let's do that again. Okay, so now you're just standing up tall. Legs are straight. All right, here we go again. Here's the pattern. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Then as you exhale, now you go into that little squat with the shoulders forward of the hips, and you feel that little scooping action. The lower back is long. You stay in your squat. Inhale and widen your W. Then as you exhale, squeeze in the elbows and also as if you're lifting the block towards your perineum. Now the legs straighten, press through the feet, legs straighten, the arms come up. And exhale, swing the arms all the way down alongside your body. You're standing up tall, mountain pose again. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms face up towards the ceiling. Exhale and come down into the little squat using that corset feeling. Lovely posture, everybody. Excellent. Inhale, take the arms out wide. Stay in your squat. Exhale. Now really take advantage of this position to lift the block. Squeeze in your corset. Use that cobra action in the back. Then inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, swing the arms down. Okay, so the chair is there for support. When we bring the arms up, you're also going to come up on your toes. And then you're going to pull the heels down to come into the squat. Okay, if you're feeling a little unbalanced, you can have one arm, hand on the chair, and then only one arm comes up. And you can do the same thing here with that one arm, and we'll have the opportunity. So you come back up on the toes to do the other arm, okay? But if you feel like you have enough balance today, you can take both arms up, okay? Here we go. So you have your chair for support. If you start to lose your balance, inhale, take one or two arms up. Now come up on the toes. And then as you exhale, land your heels back down again, grounding towards the earth, and pull those elbows into your W. Stay in your squat. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, pull the arms in. Inhale, come all the way up again onto the toes, one or two arms, up to you. And then exhale, put the heels down, arms just swing down to your beginning position alongside your body. Good. If you're using one arm, do the other arm this time. Inhale, coming up on the toes, all the way up. Exhale, land the heels to the floor as you come down into your grounded squat, taking the elbows in. Now on the inhale, take the elbows out, wide, wide W. Exhale, core set. You're still in your little squat, squeezing in, lifting the block towards the perineum. Then inhale, press through the feet, straighten the legs, come back up on the toes, reaching one or two arms. And then as you exhale, take the heels to the floor and bring the arms down alongside your body. Good. Go ahead and take that block out. And then you're going to take the back of the chair and just walk back and have your heels underneath your bottom at hip width. Elbows a little bent. And let's just do again that little undulation here. Because we've just been squeezing that block and using our outer hips, you're hula hooping. So the knees have to be bent to do this. And you have your core on, right? So you don't want to let your low back just droop down. You want to feel a little bit of action in that navel, drawing back towards the spine as you hula hoop. Okay, and be careful of your knees. If you have tender knees, then you don't want to do your big circles with your hips. And now can you wag your tail? So not circles, but just gentle to one side, and then the hips reach over to the other side. It really doesn't have to be a quick wagging of your tail. Slow motion wagging. Good, so you're feeling your side body getting a little stretch, hopefully, through the ribs, and hopefully doesn't hitch too much on you, Laura, so be careful. Okay, and then look up at your chair and walk in. Okay, so you're still facing your chair. I'm going to show you the next thing is you're going to have the feet at hip width, and you're just watching right now. You're going to bend the knees and then take one leg and step it back and then step it forward. And we're just going to do that a few times. Step it back, step it forward. Now that might be a little hard on, again, a knee that might be troublesome. So maybe you don't step back as far. If you have a troublesome knee, maybe it's not like this, like I showed. Maybe it's like this, and that's fine. Okay, so go with whatever lunge you can. All right, I'm going to face forward so I can see you. So inhale and stand up tall. Exhale, bend your left knee, take your right heel back. Okay, everybody there? And now inhale and come back up to standing. Exhale, draw the navel back and send that heel back, that toes back, heel back. Good. And then back up again. And then exhale, that leg back. Inhale, come forward. All right, now we're going to add the arm. So your right arm and your right leg are all going to, so it's going to be like that. And then back up again. Okay, so we're going to get a full length through that right side of your body. All right, you ready? Take your inhale, and then on your exhale, step back and lift your arm. Right arm, and then come back up on an inhale. Exhale, into the lunge. Are you using your core? And inhale, back up again. And one last time, exhale into the lunge, and we're just going to stay there. So in this position, can you keep the heel pressing back? Inhale, reaching up through that left side, right side, sorry, your right side. And now exhale, can you scoop the navel back in this position, just like you did in your squat? This is just like your squat. You have a bent knee, right, in the front. See if you can draw the navel back on your exhale, and then on your inhale, reach up through the chest without jutting the ribs. Good. And then push off the back toes, inhale, come back up.
Woo. Do you feel any different on one side than the other? Your right side feels a little more energized. All right, let's get the left side to match. Okay, again, tender knees, anything like that, don't lunge back so far. Okay, so we're lunging back on the exhale and standing back up on the inhale. Ready? Take your inhale, standing up tall, and then as you exhale, left heel back. Not the arm, just the leg. And then inhale back up again. So let's give the leg a chance to warm up before we add the arm. Exhale the left leg back, push the heel back, see if you can get that leg to keep long back leg, and then back up again. Good. So some of you are noticing when you take the leg back, you're just letting your belly fall forward. Okay? There's a reason why we're lunging back on an exhale, because that's when you can really engage those core muscles. So as you inhale, you're lifting up tall. Now as you exhale, see if you can keep your core set on as you go back. Oh, much better. Okay, good. And then inhale back up again. Nice and tall, exhale down, and this time raise the arm. Left arm, left leg back. Good. Remember when you lifted your arm on the floor, how it was harder to keep your muscles, your core muscles engaged? You have to work a little extra hard. So on the exhale, don't let the ribs pop forward or the belly droop. Stay strong. Good. And back again on the inhale. And then on this third time, arm up, leg back, and we're just going to stay here for a moment. So this strengthens your right buttock hip area, at the same time stretches. So see if you can push back through that left heel as if you're pushing into a wall behind you on that heel. And then from there, reach up through the arm. And then in the middle, exhale and draw the ribs and navel back. Ooh, lots to do here, right? Shoulders relaxed. And then on an inhale, come back up. Okay, let's go back to our hula hips. Stepping back from the chair, reaching back through the hips and just doing a little bit of undulation there. So the feet are at hip width, the knees are bent, and it can be really super gentle, especially if you have a hip thing or alongside your ribs or your knees. The idea again is to hydrate and to loosen any tightness. And now instead of just hula hooping, see if you can do like a random pattern. Like if you had a bit of a, some way of noticing your pattern there through your hips, and then have it be just a little bit random. So not circles over and over again, but maybe like doodling, a doodle pattern. Making sure you keep your core on, the navel's drawn back. Good, and then come to center, look up at your chair and walk in. Okay, how's everybody feeling now? We're almost to the end of class, believe it or not. I could always do like another half an hour with you guys at least. So let's go ahead and sit in the chair for a moment before we go all the way down. So one other aspect of the core that we didn't talk about yet, let's just review. We did the diaphragm, that's the roof of the core. We did the core set, which is your deep abdominal muscles when you did the scooping action. We did the pelvic floor when you had the block between the thighs, that's the floor of the core. And then in cobra, and also in just right now in your lunges, you did the lower back, the spinal, they're like the little laces up the back of the core set, those muscles. And then there's the shear strength, so across, diagonal. Okay, those are the obliques that go from one side of your rib cage over to the opposite pelvis, just in a simple explanation, like an X in your middle. So we're going to work with that X a little bit. Does everybody have your block? Put it again between the thighs. So the main thing we want to watch out for is that the shoulders stay even. What I mean is, just watch. So oftentimes when we're doing twists, people will do this. See how that front shoulder here is rounded forward and the chest is collapsed. Okay, so what you want is to maintain this upright mountain torso, and then just turn, and then the back of the hand will come on the opposite outer thigh. This hand in the back is on the chair, so you want to sit up on the front edge of the chair. And then from there, you're working your middle on the what? The inhale or the exhale? Thumbs up is the inhale, thumbs down is the exhale. When you twist, which one do you do? Exhale, right. Thumbs down on the exhale is when you twist. Exhale, meaning turn, and use that core strength to turn the body, not the arms so much, but here is where you want to feel that energy. Okay, so first of all, let's sit up nice and tall. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed and even with one another, and that the head, you're not lifting the chin, because remember, you're turning your neck as well. You want the chin to be parallel to the floor. Okay, so now you take your inhale to lift the spine tall, and then on your exhale, turn to your right and take the back of your left hand on the outer right thigh and the right hand on the chair behind you, wherever you can reach. Okay, so now on the inhale, you're going to, again, stay in this twist, lift the spine tall, and as you exhale, see if you can access those diagonal muscles. So your left lower ribs are pulling around, so you're getting longer on your right side body and a little shorter on the left side body. So every exhalation is just a little bit more of a twist. Good. Now on an inhale, lift that left arm up, let it lead you up and out, and come back to mountain pose. Okay, let's do the same thing with the right arm to go in, reaching up. So you want to get that nice long side body, and then as you exhale, twist around so that the right back hand is on the left outer thigh, left hand's on the chair behind you. Let's just stay for 2 breaths. The inhale is always the lifting up, shoulders back and down. And as you exhale, can you twist the belly button around towards your left thigh? Can you line up your belly button with your left thigh? And then on the next exhalation, the rib cages turn a little more. Don't worry about the head. Head just turns gently. Okay, good. Now leading with the right arm, inhale, come up, and exhale down. So we could keep going with this, but we're pretty much out of time. So I want to come back down to the floor, and your chair, you're going to have your legs up on the chair because we've done a lot of work with the core. So I want you to lay with your legs on the chair. Make sure, again, if you needed that blanket on the back of your head, that it's there. And then just squeeze the legs in towards your chest before you finally let the legs rest on the chair. Okay, getting yourself comfortable. Whenever you're ready, place the calf muscles comfortably on your chair seat. And you might notice from here, your lower back feels pretty in contact with the floor. So it's really hard to arch the back if you're relaxed. And just allow the lower back to broaden and soften on the floor. The shoulders are even, so make sure that they're tucked underneath but not pinched towards each other. Inner arms open towards the ceiling. Soft inner arms, inner elbows, inner wrists, palms open, fingers gently curled. Let your whole spine relax on the floor, from the back of the pelvis to the lower back, the the middle back, and up between the shoulders. And even though the neck is curved away from the floor, feel as if it's dropping down in the direction of the earth with the support of the head, making sure that the back neck feels long. And then there's no particular core breathing going on here. It's just your natural flow of breathing through the nose. Noticing the velocity of the air, the temperature of the air. And then start to slow the breath down. So the breath becomes lighter, softer, almost if you can barely feel it touching the edges of the nostrils on the in and the out breaths. Very light, subtle. Soften your face between the brows. Relax the lower jaw. Keep the lips closed and gently continue to breathe through your nostrils. Notice the little pause at the end of the exhalation, lengthening the exhale a little bit more. With every exhalation, you're sinking deeper down towards the earth, quieter and quieter, softer and softer. And then coming out of your relaxation, wiggling the fingers and toes, bringing your body to life a little bit more. You can tuck the knees in towards the chest. And then when you're ready on an exhale, roll over carefully to one side, supporting your head. Gently allow your eyes to open. And then to come up, press the hands into the floor to come up to a comfortable sitting position. Make sure that however you're sitting, that your spine can be nice and tall. And just take a moment to feel how you might be feeling different than when you entered our class this morning. Not only in your body, but in your breath and your mind.
then a little moment of gratitude, taking the palms together in front of the chest and the Anjali Mudra, the hand gesture of gratitude. And allowing your heart to fill with gratitude for your body, your breath, and your mind. For this practice of yoga that helps us to integrate all those parts of ourselves into wholeness and health and happiness. And anything else you'd like to bring into your heart this morning with gratitude? And then gently open your eyes. The light within me greets the light within you. Namaste. May you walk with balance and strength today in whatever you do. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Llewellyne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it is recorded, and I'll send it to Stephanie to put on our
Yeah,
website, our Creaky website.
class, great.
Yeah.
Focus
Thank
on
you so much. Yeah.
Yep, you do a good job.
Thank you, Laura. You too.
All right, everybody have a great day.
Cheers.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
week. Yes. Stay cool.